What if the reason you are perpetually burned out isn't actually because you're doing too much?
Right, which is what we always assume.
Exactly. What if it's because your subconscious knows you are, well, settling for too little? Like, what if the exhaustion isn't from the workload, but from the immense psychological friction of trying to squeeze yourself into a version of your life that you've outgrown?
It's a really confronting question, to be honest. I mean, we usually blame our fatigue on external things, right? The schedule, the endless inbox, our obligations.
Oh yeah, the daily grind.
But that internal friction, the act of actively holding yourself back, that actually consumes a massive amount of cognitive energy.
Welcome in, everyone. Today we are exploring exactly that kind of internal friction in this deep dive. And the source material we have on the table today is entirely different from our usual fare.
Definitely gear shift for us.
Yeah. We aren't looking at peer-reviewed sleep studies or neuroimaging charts today. Instead, we're exploring this deeply personal, incredibly vivid YouTube video script. It's titled, "I Was Shown This in My Dreams, and It Changed How I See My Life."
Which is just a remarkable piece of writing. I mean, the creator isn't trying to lecture you or, present some rigid 10-step framework. They're inviting you into a profoundly intimate experience.
Right.
They specifically note that they are trying to communicate a feeling, like a transmission from their own higher knowing rather than just an abstract teaching.
Yeah, and that's the mission for our deep dive today. We want to dissect the vivid imagery of these specific dreams. Not to analyze the creator, obviously, but to understand the underlying psychological mechanisms.
To see how those symbols apply to everyday life.
Exactly. We want to see how this applies to your waking life. Because, let's be honest, most of our dreams are just, well, they're messy brain dumps, right? You're back in high school, you forgot your locker combination, your teeth are falling out.
Yeah, the classic stress dreams.
But every once in a while, a dream bypasses all that noise and delivers a direct memo.
What psychologists sometimes refer to as a numinous experience, or what we might call a profound lived knowing.
Okay, let's unpack this for a second. What exactly is a lived knowing? Because that sounds a bit like self-help jargon, to be honest. How does that differ from just waking up and remembering a weird dream?
It's a really crucial distinction, actually. Normally, when you learn something, say you're reading a book or listening to advice, it's processed in your prefrontal cortex.
The logical part of the brain.
Right. It's analytical. You can debate it. But a lived knowing happens when the realization bypasses the analytical mind entirely. In a dream state, your conscious defense mechanisms are basically offline.
Oh, so the ego isn't guarding the door?
Precisely. So your subconscious can present a truth so vividly, using symbolic imagery, that it physically alters your emotional baseline. You don't just think the new idea. You wake up and the new paradigm is already installed in your nervous system. You just feel it in your bones.
Wow, okay. That makes so much sense, especially given the striking imagery the creator describes in that very first dream. They say they're walking down this narrow country lane looking for a man they had met previously.
Right, and the path itself is really specific.
Yeah, because on one side of this path, there are people standing among stinging nettles.
The plant that leaves a burning, blistering rash if you so much as brush your bare skin against it.
Right. And the creator sees these people just standing in the nettles, but the creator explicitly chooses not to walk through the pain. They stay on the clear path.
They just bypass it completely.
Exactly. They find the man they are looking for on the other side, completely avoiding the nettles. Now, my initial thought reading this was about modern hustle culture. We are so conditioned to believe that we must pay a toll in pain or sheer exhaustion to achieve anything worthwhile.
We constantly equate struggle with worthiness.
Yes. But, okay, I have to play devil's advocate here. Isn't struggle sometimes necessary? Like if I want a promotion or if I'm building a business, I have to work those 80-hour weeks. I have to stand in the nettles to get paid. What is the subconscious actually trying to say here? Is it telling us to just be lazy?
No, not at all. What's fascinating here is that the subconscious isn't distinguishing between hard work and laziness.
Okay.
It's distinguishing between purposeful effort and optional suffering.
Optional suffering. Wow.
Yeah, the nettles represent a very specific psychological trap. It's the belief that the path absolutely must be painful to be valid. The dream is visually demonstrating that the pain is entirely optional. You can walk down the lane without jumping into the toxic weeds.
And the dream really hammers that home with what happens next.
Yeah, it does. The creator approaches the man intending to ask for his contact details so they can reconnect later. But before a single word is spoken, the man simply hands over a piece of paper. The details are already written down.
The creator wakes up with this overwhelming realization that what they are seeking is already prepared. There's nothing to chase. And I mean, that blew my mind, but it also sounds terrifyingly passive. If I don't chase it, how does it happen?
Well, this raises an important question about how we operate in the world. The creator explicitly labels the nettles as the old ways of struggle and irritation.
Right?
What the dream is doing is forcing a shift from a scarcity mindset to a mindset of alignment.
Let's define those, because alignment is another one of those terms that gets thrown around a lot. What does that actually look like on, say, a random Tuesday morning at the office?
Good point. So a scarcity mindset operates on the assumption that there isn't enough to go around. You feel like you have to forcefully extract what you want from the world.
So on a Tuesday morning, that's what, sending 100 desperate cold emails?
Yeah, exactly. Or over-explaining yourself in meetings to prove your worth, feeling constant anxiety that someone else is taking your slice of the pie. It requires a lot of energetic thrashing.
You are essentially throwing yourself into the nettles to prove you want it bad enough.
Precisely.
An alignment.
Alignment is the realization that the frantic thrashing is counterproductive. It's trusting your competency and showing up authentically where your skills meet a genuine need.
Like the man already having the details written down.
Yes. In waking life, that translates to preparing yourself, walking the clear path, and trusting that the right opportunities or clients or connections will recognize your value without you having to beg or bleed for it.
Wow. Okay, but unlearning that need to struggle, I mean, that is a massive psychological undertaking. Because the struggle is actually deeply comforting in a weird way.
How do you mean?
Well, if I throw myself into the stinging nettles and fail, I can blame the nettles. I can say, look how hard I fought, it just wasn't meant to be. But if I just walk down the clear path and accept that the struggle is optional, I have no excuses left.
Exactly. Dropping the struggle strips away your armor. It forces you to take full responsibility for your presence.
Which is terrifying.
It is. And that logical progression, the vacuum created when you stop fighting unnecessary battles, is exactly what sets the stage for what the subconscious tackles next.
Which is the perfect bridge, because the very next night, the creator goes back to sleep and the dreamscape completely changes. We move entirely away from the visual metaphors. No country lanes, no plants, no people.
Right, it becomes much more abstract.
Yeah, the creator says they are moved into a profound, formless knowing. And they're shown 3 realities of life.
Not as scenes in a movie, but as distinct internal states of being.
Right. So reality 1 is a version of life where we are not fully present. We aren't showing up as who we truly are. It's the diminished, playing it small version.
Right.
And then reality 2 is the polar opposite. It's a reality where we are fully in our energy, our truth, and our purpose.
The fully actualized self.
Exactly. And then there is reality 3, the middle. It's described as an in-between place where you are partly in your truth, but you are still holding back. You are playing it safe.
Right, the compromise.
But here is the absolute kicker. The creator attempts to access this middle reality, and it is completely closed. It is entirely locked off and inaccessible.
It has basically been removed from the menu of options.
Yes. And here's where it gets really interesting. And frankly, where I really struggled with the source material myself.
Oh. Why is that?
Because when I read that the middle path was closed, I thought, wait a minute. The middle path is where society functions. It's the zone of compromise. It's, biting your tongue when your boss makes a bad joke. It's keeping the stable job instead of risking it all on your art. It's being practical.
It's how most people survive.
Right. So why on earth would the subconscious mind completely lock the door in the most realistic way humans exist?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture and look closely at the mechanics of cognitive dissonance, the closure of that door actually makes perfect sense.
Okay, lay it on me.
The subconscious hasn't locked this middle reality as a punishment. It's not saying, oh, you aren't brave enough, so you don't get the comfortable option. It's locking the door because psychologically, that reality has been irrevocably outgrown.
Okay, I need you to break that down for me. How do you outgrow a coping mechanism?
Think about it this way. The middle path of compromise requires a certain level of willful ignorance.
What do you mean by willful ignorance?
Well, to comfortably play small, you have to convince yourself that you don't actually know any better, or that the safety is worth the self-betrayal. But the first dream shattered that illusion.
Because the first dream proved that the painful struggle is optional.
Exactly. And that your path is already prepared.
So the willful ignorance is just gone.
Exactly. You can't unknow what you now know. Once your deeper awareness realizes that holding back isn't keeping you safe, it's just keeping you stagnant, half-assing, your authenticity becomes psychologically agonizing. Cognitive dissonance kicks in. Your brain literally cannot hold two contradictory truths. I am inherently valuable and my path is clear, and I must shrink myself to survive. The tension between those two beliefs will just tear you apart.
So the subconscious just, deletes the old software? It locks the door to the middle path to save you from the dissonance.
Yes. You are no longer capable of comfortably living a compromised life. You might try to go back to it, but it will feel like wearing shoes that are 3 sizes too small. It will just hurt.
That's terrifying, because if the comfortable gray area is locked, you are forced out into the light.
You are.
If reality 1, the totally diminished life, is too painful, and reality 3, the compromise, is locked, you are basically forced into reality 2.
You are forced into full presence.
But when you are fully present, you are completely exposed. You can no longer hide behind the excuse of, well, I wasn't really trying my hardest anyway.
Right, the safety net is gone.
You are forced to look at the actual tangible impact your existence has on the world.
And confronting that impact is the final and perhaps most challenging layer of the entire dream experience.
Yeah, because next, the creator is shown 2 distinct experiences of life. One is a version of the world with them in it, and the other is a version of the world without them.
And the takeaway from that is huge.
It is. It's this undeniable cellular feeling they are left with, that life is simply better with me here.
Now, we need to pause here because this raises an incredibly delicate question. How do we distinguish between this profound realization of our own worth and, well, rampant narcissism?
Right, because saying the world is better because I'm in it sounds like something a supervillain says right before they take over the city.
Exactly. And the creator anticipates this reaction. They're very careful to clarify in the script that this isn't about ego. They explicitly state this isn't about being better than anyone. But the line between self-worth and ego can seem very blurry.
Okay, I actually have an analogy for this that might help clear the blur. Think about the classic holiday movie, It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, George Bailey on the bridge.
Right. So George Bailey is standing there, completely broken, believing his life has no value and everyone would be better off without him. And to realize his worth, the universe literally has to send an angel down to show him a horrifying alternate timeline where his town is destroyed because he wasn't there.
He relies entirely on external validation to prove his worth.
Exactly. He has to see the negative impact on others to feel good about himself.
Right. The realization requires external proof.
But the crucial difference in this script is that there is no angel. There is no destroyed town. This realization isn't coming from outside validation at all. It is a quiet, internal, unshakable, subconscious knowing.
And that internal origin is the defining difference between ego and true presence. Ego is entirely comparative. It's a zero-sum game.
Right.
Ego says, I am important because I have more money than you, or I'm smarter than you, or my job is better than yours. Ego requires someone else to be diminished so you can feel elevated.
But this soul impact the creator is talking about doesn't require anyone else to be less.
Not at all. True presence is simply acknowledging your inherent energetic value as a piece of the whole. It's recognizing that a mosaic is incomplete without every single tile.
Oh, I like that.
You aren't saying, I am the most important tile. You are simply acknowledging, I am a tile, and the picture is whole when I am in my proper place.
That distinction makes the next part of the script so incredibly powerful. Because once the creator establishes that this isn't about ego, they do something completely unexpected. They turn the lens directly toward the audience, toward you, listening to this right now.
They democratize the revelation.
Yes. They say, this isn't just about me. If you're here listening to this, there's something about your presence too.
Yeah.
They tell the listener that there is a version of life where you stay small. And there is a version where you are fully expressed.
By doing this, the creator completely dismantles the guru-student dynamic. They aren't positioning themselves as some enlightened being handing down wisdom from a mountaintop.
Right, they're not above you.
No. They are saying that this inherent value, this undeniable soul impact, is a fundamental truth of human existence. It applies to everyone.
Everyone's tile matters to the mosaic. But honestly, hearing that, it's a heavy burden.
How so?
Well, if I accept that my presence deeply matters, then choosing to play small isn't just a personal failing anymore. It's depriving my family, my community, and the world of my specific impact. And frankly, showing up fully every single day sounds exhausting.
It is exhausting initially. It's scary to drop the armor of the middle path. It requires massive vulnerability to say, this is who I am, and I'm not going to dilute it to make you comfortable.
So what does this all mean? Like, how do we actually take this beautiful, somewhat terrifying dream logic and apply it to our waking lives?
Well, the creator doesn't just leave us hanging. They offer a sort of diagnostic tool right at the end of the script to help you figure out if this is happening to you.
A way to check if your own subconscious is locking doors behind you.
Exactly. They advise that if you have recently found yourself in a place where you simply cannot tolerate things you used to put up with.
Oh, yeah.
Like if the old ways of being, the old friend group drama, the old job dynamics suddenly feel like a physical mismatch. This is why.
You are being forcibly moved out of the in-between life.
The door to reality 3 has been closed.
Yeah.
You are feeling the cognitive dissonance we talked about earlier.
And the creator issues this incredibly powerful call to action. I want to read the exact quote because it's the heart of this entire deep dive. They urge you to step into who you are, not halfway, not when the time is right, but now.
It ruthlessly strips away all the socially acceptable excuses we use to delay our own lives. I'll be fully myself when I lose 10 pounds.
I'll speak my truth when the kids graduate.
I'll launch the business when the economy is better.
But the first dream already proved the path is prepared. The man wrote the details down, there is nothing to wait for. And the script ends with this final, soft, but absolutely booming line. Because your presence here matters more than you realize.
It's a masterful synthesis. It weaves together the rejection of unnecessary struggle, the impossibility of the compromised middle path, and the deep recognition of inherent value into one simple, undeniable imperative. Show up fully today.
It really makes you evaluate every single area of your life. Where are you still willingly standing in the stinging metals just because it feels familiar? Where are you trying to pry open a door that your own growth has already locked?
That ties perfectly back to where we started this conversation regarding burnout.
It does. It leaves me with this one thought that I cannot shake.
What's that?
If our subconscious minds are genuinely this wise, if they are already actively preparing the path ahead and locking the doors to our outdated, compromised realities, what happens when we fight them?
The psychological friction becomes unbearable.
Right. Our modern epidemics of burnout, that deep in the bones exhaustion so many of us feel on a daily basis, are they actually just the friction of fighting our own inevitable growth? Are we exhausting ourselves trying to break back into a smaller version of our lives because we are terrified of what happens if we accept that our presence truly matters?
It definitely suggests that burnout is rarely about the volume of work we're doing. True burnout is the exhausting, soul-draining effort of consistently being less than you are.
So next time you wake up from a dream that feels less like a bizarre midnight movie and more like a memo from your own deep intuition, pay attention. Notice if your subconscious has locked a door you've been desperately trying to keep open. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop standing in the stinging nettles and see what's waiting for you on the fully expressed side of the path.
If this light transmission touched your soul, please like, comment, and subscribe to support this sacred channel. Sharing helps more people discover this gentle power of healing and transformation. Tap the bell to receive updates on all new meditations, insights, and affirmations infused with angelic light and higher consciousness. Thank you for walking this path with me. You are the light, clearer and more at peace than ever before.